quite a nice Saturday. I'm going to go down the pub, read the paper, do something really retro like that, because I don't think paper's going to be around much longer. Yeah, it's pretty dead round here. I'm quite surprised how quiet it is. What I did today was I actually used TransferWise to send some funds across from Australia to Vietnam. I don't even know if this is going to work, because apparently the Vietnamese do put your name, your first name where your surname should be, and vice versa. So I used our local convention when putting the account that I had with Timo in Vietnam. I wanted to get some money across there because I'm now unable to actually put dong into the ATM machines. The only way you can deposit funds into your account is if you can somehow prove that they weren't illicitly acquired. I mean, it's bizarre. In other words, you've got to basically show that they were, from what I can gather, that they were earned in Vietnam. The only way you can get funds from overseas into your account is to do a transfer like I'm doing. So I'm trying this out, but I'm a bit worried it may not work, because Timo isn't actually the bank that receives the funds. My account number is attached to what's it, VB Bank over there, and that's where I'm sending it to, who work as the agents for Timo. They've got all their ATMs and branches throughout Vietnam. So I'm hoping that the funds will get there. I'm just doing a test transfer of $100 Australian. So what I've got to do is I found the account name and number for actual travel, for the TransferWise site. And what you do is you deposit your funds from your Aussie bank account into that particular account, and then they will do the transfer for you once they've received funds from the Australian bank. So it's a little convoluted, but I can see the logic behind it, because I was wondering how the hell I was going to get funds from my account to them, and the obvious way to do it is I have to initiate the transfer to that other bank. So in any case, it's been done, and hopefully early next week I'll find out that they've received the funds, and then they can proceed with the transfer of funds into the Vietnamese account. The only reason I really want to do this is because I want to make sure I've got money in my Grab electronic wallet, so I can get cheap Grab fares throughout Vietnam, because if I can't get the money into that wallet, I'm going to have to pay cash, and you pay at least double what you pay, by paying via your wallet. So it's definitely the way to go if you can do it. There's a cost to do the transfer from overseas. I think it's about $4.70 or something, so it's not too bad. But of course, I don't even know if it's going to work, and if it doesn't work, I'm probably still going to pay that $4.70 whatever happens. So basically, it's if the receiving bank doesn't take the funds, I'm still up for that charge, and I don't know what to do then, unless they give me some information on why it rejected. So I'll try it, but apparently you can at least transfer funds from overseas into a Vietnamese account, but you cannot put their local currency into the banking system. It's insane. I mean, if I was some master criminal, would I really be doing money laundering with 500,000 dong notes? I mean, it's absurd. It just doesn't make any sense. But it's a new regulation, just informed about yesterday, and just to make life a little more difficult. They seem to be tightening up the whole thing. They might decide they've done the wrong thing here, because it's stuffing around people like myself. I don't know why they couldn't just put a limit on how much you can deposit in a certain time. That would be a more sensible approach. I mean, any arch criminal's not going to be using the service if they're limited to a fairly strict regime that way. That would be a more sensible way of doing it. So it means that people like myself, who are just wanting to transfer relatively small amounts of funds just for the purpose of, say, a Grab wallet, can do it without being penalised. But yeah. Well, that's what's happened anyway. So that's a very, very annoying, but It's only a minor irritant, but it reinforces how important it is for me to move back into District 1, where I won't have to use Grab as often. In District 7, it's an essential lifeline. In effect, you can use buses admittedly, but you've got to find the bus that goes into central Saigon, and it takes longer, so it's a bit more inconvenient, but it is very cheap. I've still never used a bus. If I was going to use one, it would have been actually while I was down there, but I generally didn't want to head off until about half hour before I wanted to hit the bars. So the only way I could do that was to actually get a Grab bike. So yeah, I mean, it's still very cheap. I mean, most of those Grab fares are like $2 to $4 maybe. I wouldn't even $4. No, $2 is close to the mark. $2 to $3 I think those fares were. So they're very, very low. Great system. But the powers that be in Vietnam are going to make life a bit harder for me by the looks of things. Yeah, it feels like I'm in a ghost town here. I felt that when I got the taxi in, and going to the bar, it still feels like it. And it's just going to get worse as summer ticks over. So I've got no regrets about going to Vietnam over the summertime here. It's a good move. And I'm looking forward to spending 4 nights in Indonesia. I saw some quite nice places in Lombok. I don't think there's much point me staying on the main island of Bali, but I might. You can get a ferry across to a place like Lombok or one of the islands in the area. The other good news was with the visa, the 90-day visa. The end date for that was actually a full 90 days. So I have no problems. I needed to be up till the 24th, and it's actually up to the 26th, so it works out fairly well. So that's not going to be an issue. I'm not getting the breeze this way. It was like almost like a hurricane going the other way. Of course, as soon as I say that, it kicks up again. But while I was walking down those other 2 blocks, it wasn't too bad. It's still nothing like what it was when I was actually going the opposite direction. I do think that's the worst way to go. When I'm heading towards the city, it seems to be much blowier. But yeah, there's not many people here. It's very quiet in Cairns at the moment, extremely quiet. And I mean, it feels like they've got a permanent tet. That's a rather unkind statement, but it does feel a bit that way. It has been busier here, admittedly, but this is not peak tourist season, I guess. So the numbers have definitely dropped off. And there's always a skateboarder. You know the place is shut up shop when you don't see a skateboarder. That means it's the end of Cairns. Another beautiful day here on Tuesday in Cairns. I've just been knocking my head trying to work out some reservations for. I've decided to give Tet a miss because I think it's going to be dead as over in Vietnam. So I booked a flight from Ho Chi Minh City to Phuket Airport, and from Phuket Airport, that's where I'm having a lot of hassles because logistically it's difficult to get from there to, say, Krabi. I did book a place in Krabi town, but I'm thinking of cancelling the booking. Luckily I did it through booking.com, so you can do that. One of the big advantages booking.com has over Airbnb. I had changed the dates of a booking on another place because I worked out logistically it's better to go from the Phuket airport across to what's the name of this pier, Bang Bong or something like that. Anyway, I'll put it up on screen. There's a pier that will take you to this island, and it looks really good, and it's right in between a bay where between, say, Phuket and where Krabi is. So actually it's a much more direct way of getting there via the water, and a more pleasant way of getting there too, rather than being stuck in a minivan for hours on end and you know, cramped in one of those things is not very pleasant. So be much better way of getting there, I think. Yeah, I've just changed my itinerary so that what I'll do first off is go from the airport to the pier, take a ferry or a speedboat across. The speedboat a little more expensive, only about £100 more. The most expensive part is the bloody taxi. Taxis in Phuket are outrageously priced, and so you want to avoid them like the plague. I'm thinking of possibly trying to get a Grab taxi. They do have Grab over there, and you use cash, and that works out well for me. However, I've got to have a Wi-Fi signal so I can actually book it, and I need to get outside the airport to book it, because I don't think they're probably allowed inside the airport perimeter. So I'd have to, walking outside the airport's not a problem. I just have to find a place that's got Wi-Fi, and then I could probably book a reasonably priced transfer with a Grab cab. That's the plan. If that doesn't work, I'll just have to end up paying through the nose for a taxi, which will probably end up costing about 20 bucks Australian or more, just to get down to the pier, which is about a 17-minute ride. So pretty crazy. Oh God, I thought I was going to have my blood test. That won't be till Friday. No, I'm just going to go to the GP today. Yeah, so that's what's happening. So it's a lot of logistical manoeuvring that has to take place. Things in Vietnam are pretty easy logistically. There's plenty of options there now, especially I don't have to book during Tet when it'll get very busy. I mean, there won't be people around, but there'll still be plenty of bookings, unfortunately, so it'll make it very tough. So yeah, I've worked it out, so at least I'll get away from that and I'll go and see some island places. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.